when I was at Kentucky, we had a local cable company that came in and said, we think we can produce sports. We're not really sure. And we said, well, why don't you try a women's basketball game? And that's how I got my very first college basketball game on TV. My boss said, well, you want to do the game? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I was just 2 years removed from playing, 1 year from being a graduate assistant. Like, yeah, I'll do it. And that ended up becoming a package through Host Communications, Jim Host, the legend in external affairs and external rights on college campuses. He was a leader back then. And so when I got my job at Ohio State as the director of marketing, I reported directly to Archie Griffin. I'm sure a lot of listeners here that are college football fans know Archie's incredible legend. He's the only two-time Heisman Trophy winner. And I told him about this TV package that I was a part of at Kentucky, and I told him what I wanted to do. And he always let me do pretty much whatever I wanted to do. And he was an incredible person to be around and incredible person for me to learn from. But I went to the local cable company in Columbus. I asked them if they could produce sport, and they said they didn't know. And I said, would you like to try? And they said, sure. If they can get their foot in the door at Ohio State, that's always a big deal. And I said, well, why don't you tell me what it would cost to produce 8 women's basketball games? And they came back with a number, and I think it was like $50,000, Christy. I can never remember exactly what the number is, but that's what I use. And I went out and I sold the inventory for $50,000 worth of sponsorship so we could do the games. And that allowed me, from the 4 years that I had been calling games at Kentucky, to continue calling games at Ohio State. Today, that'd be really difficult for somebody to sort of create their own network so they could do their games, right? Because that's essentially in a small, just a snippet of what I did is I created a network and I called the games.